for coming back to Top World Disc Golf for the part 2 of the Faultline Classic 2024 MPO final round. Here's the scores from the first 14 holes. Strokes are flying and it's got interesting at the top.
Yeah, 3 players within 1 stroke and a lot of treacherous golf to go at DeLaveaga. I'm loving this coverage, Keenan.
Yeah, like I said earlier, what a great card with all these Top World Tour team members and Andrew Miranda, who's just been shooting hot fire lately, so anything can happen in this final round.
Cool looking trophies too.
Starting our part 2 with hole 14, 323 feet. Got to make it through this gap or go up over it, but in today's current pin position, probably best to go through the middle and skip it on the hard pan and give yourself a look at the birdie. We affectionately call this hole the water trough hole because of that feature right next to the pin there. Very fun location for this hole.
Yeah, you really got to play the skip or go way up and over. Oh.
That was looking good if it had missed that oak tree there. Andrew's probably going to try a similar line and just put it a little bit more left of the tree.
That's looking good. Yep, pin high left. Long look. Maybe about 40 feet. Oh, Connor with the inside line. You got to think that was an accident, but it's looking great. Well, similar spot to where Andrew ended up. Oh, yeah, that initial gap is treacherous on this one.
Yeah, Jacobs came right in the middle of Miranda's and Whiting's drive, so just hit that oak tree in the middle, and now he's having to scramble for the par. He's in a rollaway. Yeah, it's going to be tough to save par.
Yep. Tough little 320-footer.
Manny's still got about 90 feet to the basket. Well, putter up shot.
Didn't quite turn it enough. He's going to have a long, well, maybe circle's edge look to save par there. Here's Andrew for birdie. Yes, good putt, Andrew.
And this is Connor for his birdie look. Get back to even par on the round.
Great putt. Well done, Connor.
A lot more pressure when it's your putt to save par. See if Jacob can make it good on his par save.
Oh, just barely low. Man. All right, Manny for a par save as well.
Putting with some Discmania links.
And Manny's good for it, but Andrew taking 1 stroke on Manny and 2 strokes on Jacob there. This is an interesting hole statistically. Like one of the ones I called out earlier, barely averages over par, 3.09, but there were only 3 birdies on the day, and we just saw 2 of them from Andrew and Connor. The only other birdie was Samuel Christmas.
This is a pretty cool hole, hole 15. This is one of the holes that taught me how to throw a sidearm, because you do not want to go left on this hole. It's cliffside abyss down there to the left, and here the drone's going to fly underneath the trees, but you can go up over it and give yourself a look at this long pin position. Plays a lot longer than 338 feet because of the tall trees there.
Got to go up and over. And like I was saying about the kitchen, this hole and the kitchen are the 2 holes at DeLaveaga where I think I've seen the most 2-meter penalties, because the only shot you can do is up and over.
Connor's drive looked a little left. He ended up near that dead pine tree, which is kind of the spot you want to aim for, but it's got to turn more than it did. Connor's starting it very wide, but very flippy. I think that's his Pro Destroyer.
Yes, what a drive. Well played, Connor. Love the high flex shot. If that can hold, it's starting to fade. It held for quite a while, though. Okay, he's going to have a long look.
This looks good out of Jacob.
Looks very similar to the flex line we saw out of Connor. Yeah, Jacob just going a little bit deep. Not bad, though. He's going to have a look. I think unobstructed from there, if I had to guess. Andrew hanging out in the poison oak.
Yeah, just on the edge of it. Pretty easy upshot for par. And Manny, kind of from a similar spot, just more pin high. He's just going to lay it up.
Oh, yeah, that low ceiling there looked almost impossible to give it a run. Well, Jacob tried to give it a run. Not today.
Yep, looks like it's going to be pars for everybody except for Connor. Still hasn't putted after that spectacular drive.
What a drive. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I was confused seeing Manny tap out. I was like, wait, he wasn't closer than that. Yeah. There we go. There it is. Great birdie from Connor. And there were actually only 2 birdies on the day on this hole. We just saw one of them. The other one was from Isaiah Oliver.
Yeah, it's a good one to get. Definitely a bonus birdie. On to hole 16, probably the second longest hole on the course. 448-foot par 3, flying over the dry lake bed, Lake Maple. It's in the middle of the fairway there, and the preferred throw is, well, whatever you got the distance to get there. Basically, you want to get up to this fallen log to give yourself the ideal look at birdie.
Gotta have some distance on this one.
Yeah, you know our card does. Connor up first. Very smooth swing. Reminds me of Paul Oman in a way.
That's funny. I was going to say earlier that Manny's one of the few players who gives Paul Oman a run for his money with slowest run-up. But yeah, Connor reminds me of that as well.
And he's in the bullseye for birdie.
Wow. See, I thought that was too turned, but he found a window over there. This is more the line I was picturing, the high turnover. But I guess there's a flex window as well. Oh, that turned too much. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to have that giant tree trunk in his way.
Manny with the hyzer flip. Oh, got caught up. That was looking good. I would have liked to see that finish. Uh-oh. Too low out of Jacob.
If that was higher, that was great.
Yep, he said it. If it was higher, it would have been great. And this is a tricky little spot to be in here. See if he can get up and over that log. Oh, no. That tree, I should say. Just because it's horizontal doesn't make it not a tree.
Manny giving it a birdie lit. Oh, wow, off the front cage.
So close. Good bid from way back there. Andrew doesn't look like he has much from over here. Oh, he had a window. Man, that was about as close as Manny was. Two players just an inch low from getting long birdies. Ooh, this looks awkward.
Yeah, I can't get the normal release. Got to pull from the chest. Almost.
Yeah, awkward.
So now Connor's going to get his third birdie in a row for the turkey on some very challenging birdie holes.
Yeah, I was just going to say Johnny McRae would have turbo putted from where Jacob was there probably, but not everyone has that in their bag. Yeah, what a drive from Connor. Look at that. He still hasn't tapped out. Card having a little fun with him. And great birdie. And for the second hole in a row, there were only 2 birdies on the day, and Connor was one of them. The other one on this hole was, once again, Steve Moravec. He's getting all the shout-outs today, getting the tough birdies.
Wow, congrats, Steve. And with that, Connor's back under par. Headed on to hole 17, one of the most iconic or famous holes at DeLaveaga. Nickname for this hole is Gravity because of the right side that is just pulling your disc down there into the treacherous part of the course. But for these guys, it's a pretty easy hole, probably the shortest one for them, and must get birdie for these pro players.
Yep, average 2.47, more than half a stroke under par.
First, man, he's going to make sure the tee pad's dust free for us.
Just blowing dust over there.
Good man. Connor just going for that touch putter shot on the left side of the V tree, playing the slope. That's my favorite play on this hole. Makes the most sense. Hyzering around to the right, I just feel like you bring the rollaway into play a lot more coming in on that hyzer angle. Playing the intentional anti-skip to the left of the V tree seems like the most consistent approach, and it looks like Andrew agrees with me.
Yeah, I agree as well. That's definitely the birdie play if you go left side of the tree, or the ace run if you go on the right side.
Oh, yeah. If you're trying to ace it, you got to go right side. There's not really an ace run on the left, but these guys all want the safe birdie. Manny doing the same thing. All right, can we go 4 for 4? Looking good. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Looking like a probable star frame here on 17. Ooh. Low right, but it's in. Awkward putt down the hill. Connor has a similar one here. Yep. You would expect a star frame on the lead card on this hole, really. But then again, even with that left side play, you never know when one's going to hit a root and pop up and roll. Good to see everyone get it.
Hole 18, par 3, 262 feet. The drone is flying the preferred route, which is this backhand kind of turnover shot, something that lands gently and flat relative to the slope of the fairway here, so there's no rollaway potential. Call this hole the Anaconda, or the Anaconda route, that's shaped like the giant snake near the basket. If you can skid up to that, then you should have an easy birdie. Looks like Connor's up first, throwing his Top World Tour Series rock.
Yep, good line. Just needed maybe a little more height and or a little more anhyzer, but that's close. It's going to have a putt maybe with low ceiling.
Yeah, it looks like he hit that area underneath the oak trees, which has a lot of leaves on the ground, but if you hit more in the fairway, you'll get that hard pan slide to the basket.
That looks great.
Oh, Andrew with the perfect line. The right height, the right amount of anhyzer. Can't really do it much better than that. He's got 15 feet left for the birdie.
Looks like Manny's lining up the much higher line up and over everything.
Well, that's not the first time we've seen him take a higher line than everyone else on a hole.
Didn't really work out, though.
Long, scary look for birdie. Let's see what line Jacob takes here.
Going with his beat up pig.
That's two inside. Oh, does he cut the corner? He got away with it. Yeah, good shot. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe there is an intentional line there.
Yeah, the inside line is definitely tighter and a little bit harder, but yeah, he executed it well. And this is a scary putt to run.
Does he go for it? He looks like he's going for it. That is not the look of a man who's laying up. Oh, yeah, just couldn't quite commit. Understandable. Oh, real tricky look from Connor here. Does he even have a... No, he's laying up.
Smart.
You got to have some crazy little air bounce putt to even give that a run, and then you're really bringing the hillside into play.
But after 4 birdies in a row, I really wanted to see him get that 5th one.
Yeah. Yeah, right? 5 birdies in a row at DeLaveaga. When are you going to see that ever? Oh, Jacob just a little low. All right, Andrew for a birdie and to extend his lead. He's good for it. Brings him to 4 down on the round, 14 down for the event. Now has a 3-stroke lead over Manny Torres. Jacob, unfortunately, dropping back a little here in the last stretch of holes with some bogeys and pars. No, I thought we were going to see a battle putt there for a sec, but Manny wasn't into that idea.
Hole 19, the last hole before we get back to the parking lot of DeLaveaga. You got the road OB on the left side, and you got this tree root here that you really want to miss on this line. You just keep it straight up the middle and have it fade left just before these oak trees and skip it up close enough to the basket to give yourself a birdie look. Very challenging hole for me personally. I refer to it as my nemesis hole because
you're a sidearm player.
that, and it's just a tough line. Like even these backhand throws have to get a little bit lucky through here.
Yeah.
A long look for Andrew though for birdie. And also this tee pad is awkward with this tree right next to it.
Yeah, it doesn't allow players to get the full run-up that they want at the angle that they need.
This looks a little left, but gets through far enough. He'll have a edge of circle 1, circle 2 putt for birdie.
Good looking line from Manny. Oh, great looking line.
Oh, yeah.
Can't draw it up any better. That's it right there. Just that low backhand hyzer with a little skip at the end. That's what you want.
This tournament also had a bunch of prizes for CTP, and Manny just won the CTP prize with that drive.
CTP is won by the last group that played. Statistically, they're usually the best players too, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, Jacob in the poison oak. Tricky approach from here. What's he got? A little flex shot?
Yeah, that looks good. Oh, just a little bit right of the pin.
Turned it a little too much. Easy to do from that stance. Andrew, long look for birdie here. Yes, what a putt. He's looking good, folks. 5 down on the round, 15 for the event. Of course, Manny's parked for birdie, so he is going to take that stroke right back. Just low for Connor. And Jacob's going to take the bogey.
I feel like we've been here before. Andrew Miranda leading the tournament by multiple strokes.
Wouldn't be a top world video if it wasn't Andrew Miranda leading, I guess. The difference here, though, is we got a lot of holes left with this being such a long round.
It's true. Yeah, we still got quite a few holes left, so anything can happen. And there's a good birdie from Manny, too. Parked it.
And Connor with the par. It looks like Manny is taking credit here for his winning the CTP on this hole.
Yeah, write your name on the little flag and mark it, and then turn it in at the end of the round and claim your prize. On to the first of the parking lot holes, hole 20. You have the OB road on the left side, and this is the furthest right position, so it's right here on this hard pan. So for most of these players, it's going to be a big sidearm. I feel like the backhand line is much harder because it's got to be a turnover, but you have this big oak tree in the way that makes that line much more difficult.
Yeah, you either got to throw the really high turnover backhand or maybe a hyzer flip backhand up that middle gap. But yeah, forehand is more predictable flight for sure if you have the power for it. Andrew certainly does, just, a little too much hyzer.
Exactly, almost perfect, but he lands in the rough there.
All right, Manny's lining up the backhand. Okay, he's going the high turnover. Good looking angle. Too much air, he says. Oh, that was so close to going in.
This putter. That's why it turned so much.
All right, Connor going for the backhand as well.
This very flippy fairway driver, but it doesn't flip enough. That's tracking towards out of bounds.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, that's on the other side of the road there, OB. It was a flippy disc. It was cool to see it start flipping. He just needed to start it on a little bit less hyzer.
Oh, wow.
Jacob, on the other hand, getting some flip out of his forehand that he didn't want.
And there's Owen Forrest. He said he was going to make it on lead card coverage. I don't think that's how he planned to do it, but there's his cameo.
He's in the video. That's what counts. Connor pitching up. He's got a 12-footer left, 15-footer left to save the bogey. Jacob in a bit of trouble down here. And just pitching up for the par. And here's Manny after his ace run. Comebacker for the birdie. Maybe about 35 or 40. Oh. He probably doesn't even know how close he was to acing. He won't know till he watches this video. Oh, and Andrew with the birdie look from the rough. Just a little bit right.
Seems like he's had a little bit of trouble with those straddle putts today. Good par save from Jacob Blair.
Yep, indeed. Despite the fact that we had multiple birdie looks on our lead card, this hole actually only had one birdie on the day, which is very surprising to me. Like, it's definitely not an easy hole, but I would expect maybe 5 or 6 birdies on the day at least. But no one able to connect on this one besides another name I've shouted out earlier, Taj Davis. Good birdie. He got the only one on this hole.
Onto hole 21, one of the shorter holes on the course, 222 feet. This one is currently in the long pin position. So the drone is flying the backhand route, but there's also a sidearm route as well. For the sidearm shot, you want to put it much more left and have it fade down this hill and stay close to the basket because there is roll-away potential for sure, or an obstructed putt as well.
Yeah, it looks like a very treacherous green is what I was going to say. I do think it's funny that 222 feet is the long position, but it's still DeLaveaga, so it's definitely tricky.
Yeah, right. It's say long position, but the other pin's probably only 20 feet shorter.
Oh.
Squares the tree up, but still gets a little bit of forward progress after the hit.
Yeah, it looks like that's the one you want to just get around on a forehand line and then slide down the hill. He almost got it. Oh, Jacob getting distracted by something, resetting. And he gets around it. Maybe a little too high, if anything. Yeah. We'll see what he's got from over there. Probably in the circle, but might be a tricky putt. Ooh.
Ace run.
Ooh, great looking line from Connor. And that should be a pretty easy putt, too. Good drive. All right, man.
Calls for it to go in. Oh, it almost does.
Oh, man. Well, he's getting a par, and the rest of our card has birdie looks, so they've got a chance to make up a little ground on him here with his 3-stroke lead. Oh, Manny, awkward putt from here. Just wide.
Fortunately, stays close.
Oh, Jacob has a window. Awkward footing, but oh, clean. Good putt, good birdie.
Yeah, capitalizes on the opportunity.
Back on that birdie train.
And I also wanted to point out Connor's shirt there. It's a memorial t-shirt for Luke Thomas Salem, who's a young man that tragically lost his life recently. He's a family friend of Connor's, so shout out to him and rest in paradise.
Manny dealing with really tricky footing here from 7 feet. Real tough to get a legal stance.
Awkward.
Tried both sides. Settled on this side with his foot sideways there. Worked hard for that 7-footer. Well done. All right, well, Andrew still has that 3-stroke lead over Manny, but Jacob made up a stroke.
Yeah, on to hole 22. You got the parking lot on the right side and the road that is OB if you land on it. Yeah, it's a backhand or a sidearm. Just do not come to rest on the out-of-bounds area. And it can also lead to a tricky putt with these low-hanging oak trees before the basket.
Jacob going with the forehand. Looks good. Maybe a little too stable. Going right a little early. Oh, but he skips through. Oh, he's good.
Yeah, you don't
good
often
drive.
see a skip like that through the trees.
Yeah. All right, Connor's going to show us the backhand approach.
Oh, yeah.
Flexing
going for
it
that
out.
Back door.
Yep, get around the trees. Oh, just last branch got him. Low ceiling putt, but it's there. It's going to be tricky.
Andrew lining up the sidearm with his nuke. Looks good out of the hand. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The sidearm line looks like the more predictable flight path, the better line for balanced players. But then again, Manny's a balanced player. He's got a great forehand, and he's going backhand, so maybe he knows something that I don't.
Yeah, looks like he's going for that line that Connor took. Gets a skip.
Nice. Yeah, he just kept it lower than Connor and got underneath the branch that Connor hit. All right, we got 4 birdie looks.
It was at this point in the round where we're getting close to the top world tent where John Mata's starting to cook the tacos for the players' party. So that's all we're smelling during these putts.
Well, I'm going to give the tacos credit for Connor's putt there. He smelled the tacos, got excited. Yeah, he's looking over in that direction. The more birdies you make, the sooner the round will be over, the sooner you can get tacos. Got to make the putt. Man, he's good for it. Okay, those were the 2 longer putts. We're looking at a probable star frame here. Let's see.
Taco frame.
That's it. Jacob close, but low ceiling. Yeah, easy.
Oh, yeah. 4 birdies on this hole. That's great.
Yeah. Fun to see birdies, but obviously no movement at the top.
So we skip course hole 23 because it's being used as the tournament central and overflow parking lot. So we're on to course hole 24, 283 feet. This is the long position on the hole. Very straight. You have Amanda right off the tee. And pretty standard shot. These guys just want to pipe it down the gut and maybe get a little skip at the end to get that birdie opportunity.
Jacob nice and low, a little bit too far to the right. That's a big skip, though. And he's still going to have a look, I believe. Let's see. Maybe circle's edge, yeah. Got away with one there. I don't think that was the intended line.
Skip, skip? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great shot from Connor. It kind of looked like it was going early left, but the way the ground is sloped, I want to say Connor knew the ground and was expecting a bit of an anti-skip there and played it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of local course knowledge. If you give it the right angle on the ground, it's going to get that hard pan skip on this hole. And Miranda gets it as well, even though it looks like he threw a slower disc.
Yeah, he got more of the way there in the air, but still got a good skip. Connor really played for the intentional skip, I think, more than Andrew. All right, Manny up last. That's great.
Little long catch cam, doing a little dance.
Reactor.
Here's Andrew with the furthest away drive of the bunch.
Okay, I thought Jacob was further away than that, so I was wrong. Jacob's well inside the circle then if he's after Andrew. Oh, just low for Andrew. All right, doors open for everyone else here to take a stroke on him. Oh, sit. DeLa's gonna DeLa.
That's insulting.
Yeah, that's not really a green where you expect a bad roll away off of a missed putt. Because there is a slope there, but the basket itself is on pretty flat ground. Hey, great comebacker. That was harder than the first putt. Oh, saves the par.
Yeah, Jacob's been battling some adversity all around.
You're right.
Manny for the birdie. Sends it home.
And he's the closest to Miranda, so he brings it down to 2 strokes now. And we still have 4 holes to play. Connor with the birdie as well. Glad to see him pick it up a bit. He was struggling a little in the first third of the round or so, but he's been doing a lot better. 5 down for the round now.
Yeah, really clutching up when it counts. On to the first hole of the hill. You may have seen this one in the Masters Cup. 351-foot par 3. So pretty standard backhand chop for these guys. Maybe a little bit of flip up because you don't want to hit the hillside with too much angle. Definitely some rollaway potential on this hole. But all these guys have the power to get there for the birdie opportunity. Up first, Connor.
Yeah, Connor after a turkey. His second turkey of the round, I believe, since he had 4 in a row earlier and then 3 in a row now.
That looks good. He should have an outside circle look uphill.
Good looking line from Manny if it can fade. Oh, didn't quite fade in time. Oh no. Okay. Could have been worse. Only lost 20 feet there or so on the roll.
Jacob goes into the oak tree and it's stuck.
Oh no. 2 meters. I think we saw someone else get a 2-meter penalty in a similar spot in that same tree on another Top World tournament coverage.
Yeah, very grabby tree. It's almost like Velcro. This is a ace run from Andrew.
Oh, look out!
He's got the chase card dodging his drive.
Yeah, that was aggressive. He's like 60 long. Okay, here's where Jacob ended up in the tree. Going to be throwing his 3rd from here with the penalty stroke. Well, a little bit left. That's going to be a tricky putt down the hill. Manny giving it a bid. And it ended up being a good layup.
Connor for 4 birdies in a row.
Can he do it twice in one round? Oh, not quite. Oh, sit down. Okay, it does.
And here's Miranda after his monster drive.
Closer than I thought, actually. That's like Circle's Edge. Oh, no. Uncharacteristic airball right for Miranda. Laugh it off.
You're ready, go for it.
Okay, saves the par. And no one else on the card taking birdie anyway. It's not losing any strokes. And here's Jacob's close but awkward little downhill putt for a bogey. You can really see how extreme the angle is there. Well done. Double kneeling putt. And this is another hole where I would have expected more birdies, but even though it only averaged 3.09, barely over par, we only had 3 birdies. Isaiah Oliver, Owen Forrest, and Tim Denna. Well done, guys.
On to hole 26. This one's currently in the short position, 276 feet. The drone here is flying the backhand route, which is just a hyzer that hopefully comes into the hillside with a little higher on the hill and with less angle. That way it doesn't roll away. But there also is a tomahawk or a sidearm line that is straight up the hill, more direct. So Connor's going to first show us the backhand hyzer line. Got to get sneaky through the trees.
He almost does. It's still a birdie look. And once again, Manny just going way higher than anyone else. Perfect drive. Look at that. Okay, and Andrew's going the forehand line here, up the left side.
Yeah, this looks good.
Flex.
Hits the olive tree and rolls away.
Oh, no. It looks like it stopped there. Should have a long look, but yeah, he definitely deserved to be closer. It looks like he executed that forehand flex shot pretty well. Unfortunate reaction.
A lot of angle on this one, but it sits on the hill. Connor up first, the long birdie look.
Just low. Jacob next. Also just low. Yeah, he's been struggling a bit here, even on the last 9 holes, or the last 7 holes, whatever we can see there. 1 over for the round. And here's Andrew. Long look for birdie after the rollaway. And he's just low as well. Stays right there for the par, but with Manny parked, that is going to bring it to a 1-stroke game, assuming he can make this little 10-footer here, which I'm sure he's good for. Yep, there it is.
It's getting close with only 2 left to play.
And top of the world is a good scoring separator, too. Easily could be a 2-stroke swing on top of the world with a birdie and maybe an OB. 26A is a little more straightforward, but of course there's still the drop-offs on both sides of the fairway.
Yeah, it's true. Like you mentioned, hole 26A, left and right, no bueno. You want to keep it straight and miss all these trees that are lining the left and right side of the fairway. And it's a pretty good birdie to get, 354 feet. Definitely attainable for these guys with a good drive. See what happens. Close match with Manny at -15 and Andrew at -16.
All right, let's see if Manny can put this close and put the pressure on Andrew. Little hyzer flip to flat, sliding up to pin high right, 25 feet. Good shot.
Pressure applied. This looks good
looking
from Connor.
shot.
Swing back.
A little too much turn. Oh, but it stays up top. 25, 30 footer maybe. All right.
Seen Andrew execute this shot so many times.
Oh, no. Okay, he
Little
was going
left.
for the... Yeah, he was going for that turnover, but yeah, early release. Drops down well short. Pretty safe to give it a bid from there, but unlikely that he'll make it. And with Manny in the circle, that keeps things exciting. Oh, beautiful line from Jacob. Got some ground play. Great shot.
Park
Gonna
job.
bring him back to even for the round. I'm sure he wanted to do better, but even at DeLaveaga is still a good day. It's a tough course. And here's Andrew. Oh, didn't have a chance. That was high left. A little bit of work left still for the par even.
Connor makes good on his birdie putt. like you said, a little bit of meat left on the bone for Andrew for his par save.
Yeah, he's putting for par before Manny even putts for birdie. Okay, it's good for it. And Manny needs the stroke. I'm sure he'd love to be tied going into the last hole. Take away Andrew's option of, playing for par for the win. Yes, Manny.
Ties it up.
Give the fans what they want to see. 28-hole round, and Manny fights back from starting in third place to now being tied for the lead going into the final hole. He's 10 down for the round. That is a heck of a round out at DeLaveaga.
Yeah, like you said, to start with the 4-stroke deficit and to come back and tie it up. Exciting stuff headed into top of the world on Top World Disc Golf. This is a medium position, 516 feet. You can see it there. Right in the middle of your fairway. Don't want to go too long. You don't want to have to yell parking lot and throw it OB into the road or in towards the shack there. So for these guys, I don't know, Manny's up first. He's going to get to apply pressure if he wants to with a good drive.
Gentlemen.
It's always a pleasure, Connor.
That was a fun one. Stoked to play with you 2 rounds, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's OB.
Doesn't like it out of his hand.
Yeah. Says it's OB, and it is indeed fading towards the road. Can it get lucky and stop on one of the posts? No, it cannot.
Barely OB.
Oh, no. So now he could get a par with a long putt, but he's looking at bogey most likely, which gives Andrew the chance to just play to the right and play for par if he wants to.
Yeah, well, from the tee pad, we actually weren't sure. We didn't get any indication from a spotter whether or not Manny was OB, and we could not see it finish in the road. So Andrew
interesting.
doesn't know what to do, whether it's OB, whether he should play safe for the easy par, or whether he still needs to get a birdie on the final hole.
That kind of changes a lot. I'm surprised that there was no way to tell with a spotter, or maybe even text a buddy who's hanging out down there and ask him. Oh, no. Oh, look out. I actually think that went in between the wheels of the car, and the car did not hit the disc, and the disc did not hit the car, but he is OB as well. All right, so Andrew, not knowing if Manny is safe or not, he still has to play for birdie.
Yeah, this looks good, nice and wide. Still pretty safe, but tracking towards the road as well. And a huge skip.
Oh, no, big skip. Almost hits a person on a bike. Jeez.
Out of
Wow,
bounds
what a
as well. So
crazy
now
turn
both
of events.
Andrew and Manny are going to have their putt for par from the road.
Yeah, that's not what you expect to see here. 3 out of 4 players on the lead card going OB on the last hole. Manny for par. Oh. That's just laying up, putting the pressure on Andrew. That didn't really look like a bid.
Yeah, so this is
For the
Andrew
win.
to take it down if he makes it.
Oh, no. High left. Same mistake he made on his par putt on 17. Well, assuming they can tap in their bogeys there, we're looking at a playoff most likely. After Jacob putts for par here. Try to maintain his even round. Oh, no, he's going to finish one over. Rough day out there for Jacob. The course was not nice to him, giving him multiple rollaways.
Yeah, for having such a difficult round, though, he is so composed, and it's nice to see him remain high-spirited despite all the rough kicks from the course.
For sure. And Connor taking the only par on our lead card. And Andrews, that could have been a little cleaner, but he's in for the bogey, and Manny's parked for the bogey. So we are looking at a playoff here. And real quick, before we get into the playoff, I got to shout out the only 3 birdies of the day here on hole 27. Devin Rowell, Samuel Christmas, and Joel Highland. Only 3 on the day. Wow.
Playoff.
Checking scores here, confirming that there is indeed a playoff.
4.
Connor 3.
Manny shooting a 9-down round
Until sudden death. Yeah.
to force the playoff.
Is just 1 through 6.
So here they're getting confirmation from the tournament director that the playoff will be a sudden death format, and they will play holes 1 through 6 on repeat until a winner is determined.
Okay. I like a longer playoff loop like that. I'm not a fan of playoffs that are like these 2 holes over and over again. Like, give them a little bit of a bigger loop in case the playoff goes on a little longer. Okay, Manny up first, I assume because he shot the hot round between the 2 of them.
Exactly. Back to hole 1 in the same position. Looks good. Hits that same tree as earlier in the round.
I mean, like I said in the stats during the round, this is a hole that the majority of the field pars. I believe there was 1 birdie on the day in the round, you know, not saying anything about the playoff here. But birdie is very unlikely. That being said, that's looking good from Andrew. Oh, so close, man. I feel like he did the same thing during the round. Just needs to miss that tree on one side or the other. All right, he's got a little forehand chip shot here. Probably just laying up for par, pushing the playoff to the next hole. No reason to get super aggressive. Oh, well, he gave that a little bit, actually.
Low chance.
All right. Okay, Manny has a long uphill putt here. Isn't this about where Barsby was when he threw it in for the win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty similar. He was a little closer, but looks like it's going to push to hole 2. Assuming these tap outs go well.
Oh my gosh. That was so close to falling out the side. That's got to be mental.
I don't think I've seen a putter do that. It was almost flipped the other direction before it flipped back into the cage.
That was terrifying. And you never see Manny do that from 8 feet, so you got to think that's just situational. You know, he knows the pressure of that moment. Okay, and we're on to hole 2.
Yeah, and the tee order flips. Miranda's up first.
And he's going for that high flex forehand line, which is the way to get there. I assume he must have hit a branch or something because he's got more power than that. But either way, something went wrong. Par is best case scenario for him.
Is Manny throwing his star wraith? Going that big hyzer line that he threw earlier in the round.
Which really was just a par play. Okay, he put a little more juice on it this time. Yeah, he's trying to get over that tree. Get a little more fade to give himself a look. And he's got a long death putt. Got to imagine they're both most likely just going to lay up here and try to push the play off another hole. Like both these shots are too risky to run. Yep. Especially for Andrew. Let's see what Manny's looking at. Yeah, he's like 35. Yeah. I can't blame you, Manny.
Yeah,
That's such a death putt.
He'd
Try to win
miss
it on the
that
next
and
hole.
lose it
Yep.
that way. Better to play it safe and head on to the next hole.
Okay, we've got a couple pars. And we're on to playoff hole number 3. Also, hole number 3.
Yeah, and if you remember earlier in the round in part 1, they both had birdie opportunities, so this hole could go either way.
This hole is certainly a lot more birdieable than the first 2, which are traditionally, you know, high percentage par holes. Manny with the high spike forehand like he threw in the round. Looking good. Okay, circle's edge long, maybe just inside. Pressure's on Andrew. Lining up the same shot, it looks like. Yep. A little inside, maybe. Hit some trees and drop. Okay, yeah, it was inside, so he's off to the right. Looks like he's going to be up first with maybe a obstructed 45, 50-footer.
Yeah, I'd agree with that assessment. He's got this tough little Anheuser line through the trees here. Go in.
Oh, what a bid.
High left side.
Oh, that hurts. He knows what that means, but Manny is not parked by any means. This is probably about circle's edge. He's good for it.
For the win. Manny Torres.
He earned it. 28-hole round plus a 3-hole playoff. That is a long day.
Two friends, two competitors, great players. Today, Manny takes the win.
What an exciting round.
Let's go. Come on. Tacos are over there. Yeah, baby. Woo. Tacos on Manny. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Yes.
Getting some local love. Course legend, Emmanuel Torres.
I think it's time to go grab some tacos. I'm sure everyone's hungry now.
Yeah, that sounds like the best way to celebrate a win. Courtesy of John Mata, Team Top World Disc Golf, chefing up for all of us here at the Players Party for the Faultline Classic.
Oh, that looks so good, man. Since moving from California to the East Coast, one of the things I miss most is quality Mexican food, man. It's harder to find out here. I am jealous of these street tacos right now.
The man of the hour, Manny Torres.
For the 2024 Faultline Classic presented by Top World Disc Golf, your champion, Manny Torres!
Yeah, Manny!
All the way over there eating the dog.
Run, Manny! Run, Manny, run!
There he comes.
Go! Stroke! Penalty stroke!
Running in.
Football? There he is.
Thank you so much.
He's still eating tacos.
Way to go, Manny!
Thanks to our sponsor, Top World Disc Golf, Byron Disc Golf, and Dom's Dice. Fun event. Come back next year. Thank you so much.
Let's go, Manny.
Well done. Here's how he did it. Really shredding that final round, coming into the round with a 4-stroke deficit and shoots that 9 down to tie it up on the final hole. In the 3-hole playoff, what a round. Here's your
One of
top
the
10.
most exciting rounds I've ever had the pleasure of commentating. Keenan, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for our players for coming out to the Faultline Classic. And here's a new stat, our leaderboard for the Top World 2024 Tour. So Jacob Blair is in the lead by only 1.5 points over Aviel Gomez. So we still got the Odyssey Challenge at DeLaveaga coming up later this month, as well as the Top World Tour finale. So keep watching the coverage and see who takes down that Tour Championship.
Subscribe to Top World Disc Golf for more exciting content like this. It was a good one. Thanks, Keenan.